Welcome back to the Dropout. Drop into our Game Changer panel. Marissa, welcome back. Excited to see you after a few weeks.
I know. I have been loving all of your coverage of the crazy breaking news literally coming out of Dropout. So,
Constant.
But glad to be back. I'm glad things have slowed down a bit so we can talk about Game Changer again.
Well, we say that, and then today there was breaking news once again, and at least they break the news before we hit record, because they gave us a teeny tiny sneak peek into one of the new shows, which I immediately, rather than doing my own homework, just DM'd Jordan and was like, what do you know about this? So Jordan, what do you know about the new show that was kind of dropped today?
Yeah, look, I have a mental list of everything that every show Dropout has ever mentioned just ready to go, and usually a video of me very incorrectly guessing what the show is about, and is definitely the case, having watched the 2-second preview of the trailer way off base on what I thought it was going to be.
Really? What did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was either going to be like a game show where you win money, like Total Forgiveness style,
yeah,
or where it's like a trick game show, like whether something is expensive or cheap, and you have to try and figure out which is which. And it very clearly is they were given a budget of money and they did something silly with it, because he's like, I spent $1,000 on this musical theater or whatever it was, and I was like, nah, yeah, I wasn't even close.
I did like the very brief glimpse into the set design that we got, both from the preview, but also you did a video back in January where you showed some of the behind-the-scenes photos that have been posted from the show. So, plugging Jordan from January, if you want to scroll all the way back, you'll find a video where there's some behind-the-scenes things.
Two videos where I collected every picture that people had posted.
It's great. It's great. It looks like a fun kind of British on-the-couch style situation, which is... I'm going to save all my thoughts on that for another day, because that's an hour-long conversation. Smarty Pants premiered this week, which is so exciting. And in honor of the new show, we are hosting our own PowerPoint party here on the Dropout Drop-In, with 3 PowerPoints throughout the episode. Anyone want to tease what they've prepared for us?
I think our conversation later in the episode will be relevant to my PowerPoint.
Okay. Well, later in the episode, just to give some spoilers, we're talking about Game Changer, we're talking about we're talking about breaking news. So it could be. Jordan, what are you talking about?
Mine is Truffles Are the New Bacon, and it is the first PowerPoint for a PowerPoint party I have ever made in my life.
I'm so excited that you're doing it live on the Dropout Drop-In. I love a PowerPoint party. It's my greatest pleasure in life. Most of my birthday parties are PowerPoint themed. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a corporate girly. It has everything to do with the fact that I like visuals. So, very thrilled to do it on the show with y'all. I got a scoop on what future shows have been greenlit by Dropout in the multiverse where I'm in charge. So, I'm just going to share the gossip that I've acquired with all of you. The very real timeline of events where Liz is in charge of series development at Dropout. So,
excellent. You got to get your Kevin Feige hat out.
Mm-hmm. Another episode of the Dropout Drop-In where my producer hat is nowhere to be found. And you know what the worst part is I found it the other day and I put it in here, and now in here is a disaster. So another time, or maybe that's going to be the running joke of the show, is you never see the producer hat. It never makes an appearance. Oh my god. But Smarty Pants this week premiered with its initial episode on a wide variety of topics in this episode, to say the least. Jordan, what stood out to you from this episode?
Madly in love with the show from the drop. Was so much fun. It was my first exposure to Demi, and then I told some friends that he was on, and they're like, what? We have to watch it right now. And they started sending me his old videos from September 21st, where he did increasingly more elaborate sets to, is it Earth, Wind, and Fire? Do you remember? Did increasingly more and more elaborate. Anyway, I'm now deep in the paint on Demi's content. Listen to Trader Joe's set to the tune of Kokomo. I'm all over. I'm falling madly in love with him. But yeah, I would say the funny thing is, I think Traps was the smartest presentation. Demi's was the funniest, and Vic's was the most educational, and I don't dislike any of them. They all were my favorite, and I feel like they were very different in tone and thought process.
I really liked the way they paired these together. Like, obviously, they recorded them in various ways. Like, you saw the audience change, you saw a lot of things change from presentation to presentation, which makes me think they piecemealed a little bit what the best combos would be. I think that was absolutely the correct choice, because that formula was so smart. I just verified that, in fact, I did buy a ticket to see Demi's show at Fringe Fest in August, so I will be in the audience seeing, the show is called Demi is Going to Do One Backflip. That's the name of the show that he's doing at Fringe. So I'm very looking forward to seeing that. So a little bit of bias. I loved his presentation. We will see him in a few months, but Vic took me by surprise. The tone was so serious in a different way from very important people. Trap did exactly what I expected, but in the best possible way. So I loved the range.
The Lizard People Comedy and Conspiracy Theories episode, Vegetables Aren't Real with Vic Michaelis from 2022. A full hour and 13 minutes of Vic's presentation that they then repurposed for the show with the blessing of the podcast. So if you want more, if you want more Vegetables Aren't Real content, it is out there.
In fact, an hour of it is out there. I love it. I'm gonna go listen because I haven't heard the full thing. Marissa, what stood out to you?
Well, I am a big fan of Demi. I loved The Good Place, and I loved whenever Demi would be on The Good Place, the podcast, frequent guest. I also love following Demi on Letterboxd, very entertaining follow over there. And my favorite line from the whole episode was about Shigo from Kim Possible. She drove me, she's my wife, because she is also my wife. So I guess we're in a plural marriage with Shigo. I had a lot of fun. Every time Liz watches the show before me, she says, it got my producer brain going, blah, 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 blah. And so then I watch the show and I'm like, what got Liz's producer brain going, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, I noticed that they had to cite every single image that they used in their presentations. And that would drive me to insanity. So that is something that I noticed, was that they had to cite every single legalities. Yeah. I'm happy to be just a free agent on the internet that is not bound by any sort of lawyer.
And there's a great freedom in being your own person on the internet and not like a company that could be sued at any given moment. Yeah. I also really loved the concept of this being very like, I took it as Harvard or like Ivy League school secret society kind of like collegiate vibes, as someone that I couldn't have had a further experience from that from my post-secondary. Like, I'm in Canada, I went to a small university on the East Coast. Like, I did not have a Harvard, what you see in the American movies style education, so it felt very like, what's the word I'm looking for? I felt like I was watching a parody of what I've always seen in the movies. So it was like a parody on a parody of an experience that was just very joyful for me to sink my teeth into a little bit. I don't know if you two have a different reflection on that. I don't know if it landed differently for you in a different context.
I'm also not Ivy League educated, so...
Nope.
No. I didn't belong to any secret or real life clubs when I was in college, so... Can't relate.
Yeah.
Fully fictional.
It made me think of, and I think it's just because the word society is in there, but Nick at Night's, oh God, no, I've instantly forgotten the name of it. The Mystery Society, whatever it was. The Are You Afraid of the Dark series.
Yes.
And I wanted Reka to like put out a fire at the end of it.
I really want to see the vision board for this show and like all the different places they pulled references from. Like, I even felt a little bit like set design reminded me a little tiny bit of Legally Blonde and some of like their like common spaces in that movie. And like, I'm just very intrigued by this entire build of this show because it's so hyper specific and different, but also has that same kind of heart, which was very fun. Mm-hmm. Speaking,
is this a good place to plug that I'm talking to Paul Robolino, the showrunner, on Wednesday? So
ask him all the questions.
I'll ask him those questions.
Be like, I have a list from the Dropout Drop-In. 1, how? 2, why? Please, I'll listen. I'm always player number 1 on your Patreon. That's for sure. Okay, let's talk about very important people before we get to our first PowerPoint, because Vic was in Smarty Pants, Vic was in Very Important People. Pig number 2.
I wore my Pigs Are People 2 shirt in honor.
Excellent.
Good God, Allie Beardsley. Just...
A big week for Allie Beardsley content, like D20. We're not talking D20 this week, but Allie had a fantastic episode and adventuring party as well. Last 2 weeks have really fed the Allie Beardsley.
Happy birthday to Allie Beardsley, roughly a year ago. But yes, yeah, oh man. Getting Vic to break that quickly, such a beautiful experience. They just, both of them are so funny. And yeah, there is, and Allie's laugh, ooh, Allie has a good, like, infectious laugh that you just feel like once they started laughing, just game over.
But we always talk about the timing of the jokes as well when it comes to Vic, and I don't know if there's been someone that's sniped Vic in the way that Allie did with the "he stepped on my mom" line. Like, that was just so out of left field, but also timed so like you thought it was scripted. I don't know. It was just so. It was one of the moments of the show that really felt like, oh, this is why they made this show. Was because in what other Dropout property can Allie land a line like that that's not D20, right? Where you expect things like that to come at you. It just, yeah, landed very well for me. Marissa, what are your thoughts?
I loved it. I think I've watched it twice now. Big fan. Just a big fan. Just, yes.
And you're not the only big fan, because Very Important People is officially People's Choice Webby winner as well. Hooray! Tiny clap. Everybody get a tiny clap. Very, very exciting. Jordon, did you get to give an acceptance speech since you helped lead the brigade of daily votes?
Vic said I get 1% of the trophy, so I am waiting for them to shave off a bit of the trophy and mail it to me. We'll see. So excited for them. So well deserved, and yeah, obviously onward to the Emmys. Like, let's go.
Onward to the Emmys. This is very much a get in the comments kind of situation, because if you look in the comments of the Webby posts on the Dropout page, Very Important People page, Vic's page, you'll see all the producers and everyone that's worked on the show commenting and hyping each other up. And I dropped a comment as a joke in reply to you that was like, Very Important People Emmy campaign started, checks calendar 8 weeks ago. And I forget who right now, but someone responded like...
Kyle Rohrbach, the head of Dropout production.
Like, not wrong. Like, actually, yeah. The funny thing was, when I wrote that comment, I looked at the calendar because I thought I knew exactly when things were starting to pick up for them. So the fact that he commented back and was like, correct, I was like, I see you, Mr. Producer. I get it. Very, very funny. Great week to be a Very Important People fan. Great week to be a Dropout fan. Great week to be a PowerPoint fan. Marissa, would you like to induct us into our PowerPoint presentations for this episode?
Okay, sure.
Marissa and I have hosted many a PowerPoint party, everyone. So if this is your first time, Jordan, if it's your first time doing a PowerPoint party, welcome to the fun. Part of the fun is that you never know what other people are going to talk about. So I don't usually vet these ahead of time. Oh my god. Excellent news. Lead the way, Marissa.
Actually, by me. I did just make this in the last hour. Okay. Actually, there should be more all one topic episodes of Actually. We've had reality TV. We've had musical theater. We've had holiday specials. We've even had a Shakespeare episode. But we need more. Mm-hmm. So here are some suggestions. You can have them completely free. Just, tag me in the comments or something. Okay. All Drag Race. We have the drag queens, we have Drag Race queens interwoven into Dropout already. We've had a drag queen episode of Actually, but we have not had an all Drag Race episode of Actually. So, here are just some suggestions, some question topics.
Oh my god, you went deep. You did a full plan.
I know who I'm talking to, Elizabeth. So, lip sync for your life winners, untucked fights, iconic judging moments. Just some suggestions. Then, if you need shiny question suggestions, an IRL lip sync on the shiny stage, or a costume challenge, or match the lip sync song to the queen that got eliminated. Okay? That's one. another all blank episode. All American Girl. These are the American Girl dolls. I know Liz is Canadian, so she doesn't understand. This is about American Girl. Question topics. The historical dolls. The modern dolls. The books. The movies. Shiny questions. Match the historical doll to her dress. Match the historical tragedy to the historical doll. Or, is this actually a menu item at the American Girl Place Cafe?
Why do
Yes.
I feel like Izzy would eat this up? Why do I feel like Izzy Rowland has a skill set specific to this? I have
Yeah.
nothing to base that on.
No, I
just
think that's accurate. I think so far Izzy would be on both panels. My next topic, all Disney Channel original movies. Questions. The movies. The movie stars. The music videos, tour, merchandise, Disneyland parades, and etc. related to said movies. Shiny questions could include which of these famous actors didn't get their start in DCOMs because it is less than you think. Match the DCOM to the decade. Or match the song to the DCOM. Okay. Again, these are just suggestions. All Bridgerton. All Bridgerton. Okay? Question topics
I really
include.
feel like this PowerPoint is influenced by the person that made it.
I'm just providing suggestions, okay? We could talk about the Netflix series, the books, maybe even the fan fiction, okay? Shiny questions, need more pixels, but it's just the Bridgerton romantic leads. Propose marriage on the Shiny stage.
Wow.
Or match the Vitamins string quartet cover to the pop song. That's only relevant if you know the show.
I just want to add the need more pixels piece is very hard because all the Bridgertons look the same.
Correct.
That would be very challenging.
That's the point.
Yes.
Okay, my next suggestion is all teen girl culture, which is actually a topic that I think there will be a future episode on because somebody pitched it to Iffy already. I couldn't find where I saw that on the internet, but I did
Goose
see it.
Girl. Shout out to Madeline.
I saw it, so it exists. It will happen.
How
Okay.
did you have that right at the front of your brain? Did you two talk before this? That was
No.
incredible.
I looked everywhere to see where I saw it, and I was like, Jordan's gonna know. So
Wow.
there we go.
Sorry.
But
Incredible.
you know, if this is a future episode, I just have some more, suggestions for question topics or shiny questions, okay? Some questions could include Tumblr, the website, Archive of Our Own, the website, or your close friend story. Shiny
Wow.
questions, break up with your best friend on the shiny stage. Rank your hyperfixations in order of level of destruction to your social life. Or have a fight with your mom.
Wow.
All
Wow.
dropout content. This is a genuine suggestion. I think there should be an Actually episode that is all about dropout content. So, question topics could include Sam Suits, Dimension 20 lore, or make some noise prompts. Shiny questions. Match the devastated Brennan Lee Mulligan to the Game Changer episode. That's a good idea.
It's a very good idea.
You can have it for free. Or mini game versions of other dropout shows. I just think that would be cute. Or classic shiny question formats, but they're all about mic trap.
Oh my god. Can I ask a question on this one?
Yes.
Who, other than Jordon Brown, who do you cast on
I'd be
this?
so bad at it.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Elizabeth, because what a range of topics. I've given so many suggestions, but what might they all have in common? Me! I'm an expert. Well, okay, maybe not the Dimension 20 lore, but nobody knows the answer to every question. I'm actually, like, that's the point, is that you don't know the answer to every question. So, I want you to let me be on them, actually. My DMs are open. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Well done.
Amazing.
Do you think it would be very funny to do a dropout content episode of Actually, and it's like someone like Jordon, like someone who's like not right now a cast member that could like come in as someone that's watched the content, and then you have someone who is in the Dropout cast, who like canonically has seen 0 episodes that they've ever recorded and like should know everything but knows nothing. I don't know who that would be, so I don't want to like be salacious or make a claim on the internet that's not true, but maybe like a Grant or maybe like an Allie Beardsley, like someone that like everyone knows, but like everyone in Dropout knows, like, oh, you don't watch a goddamn thing that we make. Like, put them on the couch and then put someone in Dropout like Sam. Someone who should know everything, and it would be shocking if they didn't.
I don't want to be on that couch because people would find out how little I know about Dropout, and it would be very embarrassing and bad for me.
Take Jordon off the couch, put Marissa in.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent. Oh my god. Iffy, get in the comments. We're gonna wait.
Get in the
for
comments.
you specifically to come back with feedback here. We're ready at a moment's notice. Well done, Marissa. You can never tell you made that in an hour because it was very detailed. I love it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Game Changer before we go to our next PowerPoint, because we could do multiple episodes on the 2 episodes that have aired, Bingo and Deja Vu. My head hurts thinking about these episodes of Game Changer. Like, frankly, I'm just like, what is their Emmys run? Because if you don't know, the way that an Emmys run works, it's not just like you submit Game Changer. You have to submit an episode of Game Changer, and depending on the category, you could select, like, I'm just making this up, I don't know if or what they're submitting, it's all hyperbolic, but like if they wanted to submit host, they could pick one episode to like best display Sam as host. If they wanted to pick guest star, they could pick an episode with a cast member that they want to nominate. So they can pick from across the board, but we had 2 back-to-back bangers that to me are like in their own right could have their own campaigns as like, this is the future of game show television. So my head hurts. Jordon, does your head hurt?
Yeah, it's difficult, and I think we are getting better episodes coming based on really nothing. But I think like there's a 2-part finale. We know that. I think it's going to be the best episode of the season. I think it's difficult because there's so much that happened. Another plug. I talked to TJ Dumpster, who is the sound mixer for every single Dropout show that exists, which is wild. But we talked a lot about building the sound for the Deja Vu episode, because there was so much degradation, because not only was there the video was degrading as the episode was progressing, but the audio was doing that like warm VHS sound as well. And we talked a whole bunch about what the process of that was like, and how when he had balanced the audio tracks of the players and then he put the VHS effects on top of it, it broke the balances of the players, so we had to go back and like fix all of it, and then that kept happening. So it was like this massive amount of work for this episode, and I mean truly like a magical episode. Succeeded beyond like I can't imagine like how I can't imagine a better sound certainly episode.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you got that intel, because the sound was impeccable. And as someone who has made choices in their editing process professionally that has resulted in entire sound fuck-ups, I just had heart failure live. You'll see me go back a few seconds. That was Liz having heart failure live on this show. That's outstanding work. And for one person to lead for all Dropout, okay, well, I'm gonna have to leave that thought there and go listen to the episode and hear how he manages. There's been so much talk and speculation, not just in your video specifically, Jordon, but on the Discord, on the Reddit, and I've seen you in and out of all the conversations around like the greater conspiracy of the season and the hands and Sam Dalton, and where is the state of the conspiracy today? Because there's been a lot of like, well, Sam says it's nothing, and then Sam does something, everyone's like, he's lying to us, and it's just all over the board.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a mess, because now the newest thing that Sam posted was that the hands at the end of Escape the Green Room were supposed to be like, who even am I anymore? And it accidentally, thematically links to the 2-part finale of this season of Game Changer. I don't have any idea what that means, but it is the first time that Sam was like, look, something's gonna happen. But yeah, like, Sam has been very adamant, and other people that work on the show have been very adamant that there is not an overarching like mystery plot that is happening in this season of Game Changer, mainly because they don't want people to be upset when the finale hits, and it wasn't oh, Sam Dalton had taken over this whole time. Marissa,
we've been loud and wrong on the internet before. I would love for you, if you would like, to take the floor and create a declarative stance on what you think. Maybe, you know what, do it on behalf of the show. What do you think our stance is on this matter?
I think they are lying. I think we are right. I think considering the fact that Allie in the behind the scenes for VIP is like, I'm not totally convinced I'm not on an episode of Game Changer. Vic thought they were on an episode of Game Changer until they signed their contract. Iffy thought he was being pitched Game Changer. Like, everyone thinks they're on Game Changer. Why would the crew of Game Changer, the creatives behind Game Changer, tell us the truth of what's going on Game Changer? I don't believe that.
That's a very compelling argument, I will say. I'm compelled by that. Jordon, what do you think?
I do want to just flag one thing. His middle name has always been Dalton. That is not a weird time travel thing that happened. It's his mother's maiden name. That's why it's his middle name. I saw people like, so why would they choose a clip that highlights his mom saying Sam Dalton Reich? I'm like, it's because it's his name. They were like, who's the baby? And she's like, Sam Dalton Reich. Like, it wasn't like he didn't time travel and change his home movies.
Could you imagine? I did have a full moment when they did the first blip of the home video where I thought to myself, are they the psychopaths that would hire people to film fake home videos? I was like, maybe this is all a drum up, fake simulation. But then I was like, no, these are real. Especially when you get the last clip of Sam as a kid. Yeah, so I quickly unwound myself from that conspiracy. But this is truly the moment for the Swiftie Dropout fan Venn diagram that's just a circle to, step up to the plate. We are all going to solve this. Jordon, you are now in that Venn diagram as well. You can join the Swifties. We're in the trenches here. We're going to figure it out.
Look, I got nothing. I don't know what's happening. Everyone thinks that Sam lied to me when he told me that it wasn't anything. And they're like, how do you know it wasn't Sam Dalton that told you that? I'm like, because he sent it to me over Instagram. So.
There's only so much you could do. Oh my god. All right, well, we can leave Game Changer there. Maybe we'll come back to it later in the episode, because I feel like we could talk Game Changer forever. I have breaking news from another dimension that I thought I would share for my PowerPoint. I heard from an alternate dimension that I was in charge of series programming at Dropout, and we know that there's 17 shows coming down the pipeline, and I have the scoop on what some of them are that we don't already know.
As someone that has been on the receiving end of a PowerPoint from Liz Duff several times, I don't think anyone else is prepared for the chaos they are about to receive.
There is one time I presented an entire screenplay live on a podcast that was based around everyone's niche interests. We've done a lot.
With visual aids, there was some serious Photoshop going on.
So let me introduce you to Dropout 2025-2026. We begin our story is my first pitch. This will be familiar to you from seasons or episodes prior of the Dropout Drop-In. We begin our story with Erica and Abria in a photo that didn't load. How lovely. This is supposed to be Erica and Abria with an owl on their recent journeys. The concept for this show. How do you describe all of these fantastical places that you could build a role-playing game in if you've never been before? Erica and Abria shall go to those places and have these fantastical experiences and describe them with aids that will help you in your TTRPGs, in your screenplay writing, and all of your creative endeavors. So if you've never been to the Highlands, if you've never been on the Baltic Sea, if you've never flown a dragon, they will experiment in all of these things and provide you with the most accurate descriptions of those experiences as possible to help all of us in our creative pursuits. AKA, give Erica and Abria a travel show. Please and thank you. Next, Get in the Workshop. A play on Get in the Comments. This is mini-making meets Survivor on Rick Perry's island, and it's a mini-making challenge series where every episode people are charged with making a different set or a thing or painting something, and you have various cast members from D20 that come in and guest judge, and eventually someone, like, I don't know, ends up making something that becomes a permanent part of a future season of D20's set. I don't know all the semantics. I'm just in charge of relaying the gossip to you. But I think that doing something Survivor-based with, like, on Rick Perry's very inhabitable island is very funny, and I would like to see it. Next, I'm supposed to have special effects for all these, and they're not working, which is not a delight. Chronically Online. This is drunk history meets Dropout meets history of the internet. So you get Dropout cast members inebriated in whatever way they would like. They explain the history of chronically online things that have happened on the internet, and then other Dropout cast members perform said things. So like a meme from 2010, or like a Tumblr ball pit from the Tumblr era, which if you're on Tumblr, you remember, like all these niche things. And the concept of the show is like a time capsule for future generations who want to know what the internet was like when Dropout was creating their shows. I want Lily Dew all over this. I want Grant O'Brien all over this. That's my pitch. I mean, sorry, that's my fact, because it's coming from another dimension. We already know that they're all over this. All right, so internet oral history, Greenlit. Greenlit is inspired by Katie's billboard that went up I'm not convinced is not a part of a future Dropout episode, but they're trying to sell us that Katie just did this randomly, put out a billboard in LA pitching Michael Cera on some work. The concept of Greenlit is that it's a game show where Dropout cast members are trying to get their previously shot down screenplays or short films or stupid internet videos greenlit for production through raising funds through odd challenges. So maybe you have to walk Lily Dew's dog, or maybe you have to iron Sam's suit, or like complete all these little odd and end challenges and jobs to earn points that will fund your project, and then you shoot it in the Dropout studio with Dropout cast. So by the end of the season or the end of the episode or whatever, you see like this horribly shot down thing finally come to life. This is inspired by John Mulaney finally getting to do Lobster Diner on SNL after all the years of pitching Lobster Diner and it never happening. This is Dropout's version of that. Extreme Wishmaker. The best day of their life is today. Think Extreme Makeover Home Edition meets things you can fund for under $20. So it's all of the niche wishes of the Dropout cast members come to life at the biggest scale. So if someone had a wish of like, I really wanted like a corn dog for lunch, all of a sudden like the Dropout people that work on the show are going to go find the most elaborate way of bringing a corn dog to the studio for that person to have for lunch. Like, it's very small wishes on a very big, stupid, elaborate scale. And on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, Project Bamboozle is Dropout's take on Punk'd, where the cast wreak havoc on each other with specialized pranks that specifically involve their internet history usage. So if you know that someone is a sucker for buying things on Facebook Marketplace, you set up a really elaborate Facebook Marketplace prank on that person. If you know that someone is chronically on TikTok, you set up a TikTok-based prank that you know will get to that person. So it's a little bit of cautionary tale on how people use technology and really catered pranks that the Dropout cast perform on each other and use Dropout's studio ability to create and push out into the world. Okay, Zach Oyama Fix My Life. This is my favorite show concept possibly ever. It's a play on Ileana Fix My Life, but it's Zach Oyama. Have a problem? Zach can help. It's hosted by Zach and his friends. They can solve any problem as long as it costs under $20. So nothing major, just small, minor inconveniences, things that need support. And when they don't know how to answer something, they have to eat In-N-Out. That is specifically catered to me because I love In-N-Out and I don't live in LA. So that's how I think I would solve problems if I lived there, and I am totally projecting. I also think Zach Oyama should host a show exclusively for Dropout. So this is my pitch. And it's definitely not also because I found this template and thought, this dude kind of looks like Zach Oyama a little bit. Next. Blank Check, an improv writing show. This is also a competition show where you need something written. The amazing writers at Dropout will help. So cast members come with things they need written, like a text to their ex, a response to a landlord notice, telling your mom you're not coming home for the holidays, writing emails back to Sam, the writers bid to write a response, and if you pick that writer, you have to send it, so you can get really malicious and you can do whatever you want in this writing. But if the writing generates success, then the writers get points. So you want to do things that are funny, but you also want to do things that will earn you points. And it's like to feature the amazing writing talent, because I think a lot of people forget that people at Dropout, and cast members specifically, have multiple jobs. And a lot of them are writers on other shows and things, so kind of flexing the writing muscle.
I just think it's so interesting that in this other dimension, they spell check the Canadian way.
Listen, I told you in the other dimension that Liz is in charge of all series programming, so I am not at all surprised that in the other dimension. Thank you so much. You can hire Liz in this dimension to make all of these things.
I really would like to see, actually, all of those shows.
They're not bad.
Same.
If you had to pick one from my list, which show would you want greenlit?
I liked your Zach pitch, just because I also like In-N-Out, and I don't live near an In-N-Out, and any show that combines In-N-Out is great for me.
I like Make-A-Wish, but that's not what it was called.
Okay. Oh, Extreme Wishmaker.
Yes.
Yeah, small wishes on the grandest scale. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would be very easy and doable, and also very dubious. Like, I want to see Luke Wilson run around trying to get Brennan the perfect chicken sandwich lunch or whatever it is that he always orders. Like, that's the kind of shit. Yeah.
Brennan eats a
one.
cheeseburger.
That's the kind of shit that I want to see them do for a half hour. I selfishly, desperately want Get in the Workshop. I want Rick Perry's Island to become Survivor 2.0. I understand that would be atrocious to Rick's, like, work-life boundaries. Maybe they can figure out how to, like, do it in a 2-week span to be minimally destructive.
It would be very fun.
It'd be very fun. Speaking of very fun, as the person that also does the transitions on this show, breaking news is back. And we had 2 episodes of Actually since the last time that we talked. Actually, I think, is a little bit contentious, because some of us did really well, and some of us did not. So, Marissa, would you like to stake your claim in how you've done in the past few Actuallys?
Any regular episode of Actually, regardless of the topic, if it's an all whatever topic, if it's a general, I do terribly. Every episode I do terribly, including the musical theater episodes. I did terribly. The baby bracket, however, I not only won, I beat Keith. So, I'm feeling great right now.
On top of the world. Jordon, how'd you do?
Yeah, no, Baby Bracket, I think I posted this, felt like Celebrity Jeopardy in a, like, I'm smart right now, comparatively. Yeah, I think the episode previous, although I very much loved it, I don't think I got a single one right, which was the first time this season. Usually I get one per episode, and it was the first time I was like, ooh, I don't have any of these. But yeah, Baby Bracket, I was like, this is great. I know these answers.
I was in the exact same boat. I got none on the episode that was titled Voltron Conquers Bedford Day and G.I. Joe. I got a big fat goose egg, not a single question. The Baby Bracket, I was on Zach's level, but I was still in the game, baby. I was still, those shiny questions, I did a lot better at than the regular questions. But I think, to return to a point that we were making a few weeks ago, you can see how in the short amount of time that they probably filmed this, if he really started to warm up from recording to recording, like, I don't know the order of recording versus what they're airing, but you can see the more comfortable moments from him as we go, and I think that's really fun to see him. Like, I'm excited to see the next season of Actually, now that he has this one under his belt. I think it's going to be another level of really great hosting from him.
Just invest in some lozenges, Iffy. Your poor voice.
From one vocal fry girly to another vocal fry sufferer, I feel it on a spiritual level, my friend. I really do. Not fun. Breaking news, one of my favorite Dropout shows that I think is severely underappreciated, with an absolutely killer first episode, Dropout America 3, featuring Sam. Oh my god, Grant O'Brien, you can write a script, my friend. I think he was writing on that one. Unbelievable. Yep. Jordon, what'd you think?
Oh man, I loved it so much. It's such a good premise. It's such a fun, just like short hit burst of comedy. The line, what was it? Bisexuals with depression and a comedy mask tattoo or whatever absolutely destroyed me. So good. I love watching Sam just really not enjoy reading those scripts.
You really watch him in real time rethink life choices to get to that point. Like, I'm the CEO, I don't have to do these things, but here I am doing them. And I think it also comes back to that idea that I hit home like every episode, so I'm saying it again for everyone that watches every week. Here I go again on my fucking rant about talent development. But being that far into breaking news, having people learn how to write scripts that fit in that short time span, and know each other this well after over a decade sometimes of working together, that you can know exactly what lines are going to hit people the hardest. Like, that is a hard show to make the way that they do, and it lands so well every single time. Like, it's a well-oiled machine.
And huge shout out to giving BDG a soundboard and his extra bonus uses of the soundboard, where he would just like press the like woof woof or whatever it was buttons when he felt like it was warranted. Oh, mwah.
He's had a great few weeks on Dropout. The random podium inspections, Marissa, you must have ate that up.
Oh, I certainly did.
It was
Loved
very
it.
coded.
Yeah, and then just to see it flipped back on him, a random ponytail inspection. Love.
So good.
So good. So good. I believe we have one more PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan,
Let's
you
see.
want to close things off?
I'm going to my PowerPoint today. Truffles are the new bacon, enough already, by Jordan Brown, PhD-ish, or PhD-ish, whichever you would prefer. It feels appropriate for both. You guys remember 2013? The Double Down came out because people needed more bacon. We needed bacon in candy. We needed bacon lip balm. We needed bacon mayonnaise. We needed bacon candy. Jack in the Box made a bacon shake for some reason. It's for real. A nightmare world that no one deserves to live in. And then Wendy's was like, is that Wendy's? Yeah, because it's square. The Baconator, they're like, we need more bacon on a thing. Anyway, it became the straight white man personality kit of I love bacon so much. And I say this as someone who every single picture currently on the screen is from my own Facebook page. That is a grilled cheese bacon cheeseburger, a bacon Band-Aid, a chocolate chip bacon cookie, a bacon Bloody Mary, and a bacon fried pickle onion ring grilled mushroom cheeseburger with queso for dipping. That one was more than just the bacon, obviously. Anyway, as someone who was there at the beginning, I was there when it was fully oversaturated and bacon became everything. You see this bacon wallet here? I owned 2 of them. I owned one so long that it no longer functioned, and I bought a second one. And every single thing that was on that first slide from 2013, I actually did try at one point. And I'm not proud of myself. And look, we never recovered. If you Google I Heart Bacon shirt today, you will get 16 million results.
Wow.
We simply never recovered from it. And history is just repeating itself as truffles are now being put into every single thing everywhere. Heinz has a truffle mayonnaise. Heinz shouldn't be making truffle mayonnaise. Truffle mac and cheese sauce, truffle Alfredo, truffle salt, truffle mustards, just the tip of the truffle iceberg. And why? Again, look, I'm there. This pasta is a pasta where you got to pick your protein, and one of the proteins that you could pick was truffles, and of course, I said, yes, that is the one that I would like, and that is the amount of shaved truffle that came on top of it. I have no less than 3 truffle salts currently in my cabinet, and every truffle fry that every menu offers, I buy on site, no questions asked. And look, truffles are just rich guy bacon. And I would like to point out, Liz did not provide us a budget for this, so that is why I had to use the Alamy branded stock photo. And truffles are rare. They're hard to find. They're hard to farm. And there are hardworking pigs out there doing their best. And so if we keep putting truffles in everything, at some point it's going to start becoming, it's going to be the bacon bits where it's fake truffles into things. And it's just a true nightmare. And look, here's the tie-in. To love something, we must limit ourselves. If Game Changer was year-round, we wouldn't appreciate it when it came back. We wouldn't appreciate a 10-episode season of Game Changer if we had a bi-weekly, like whatever 52 divided by 2 is, episode season of Game Changer. It just wouldn't be as good. We need the breaks from things. And so, everything in moderation. We have to stop putting truffles on every single thing. I believe that's the end. It is the end.
Can you go, you had a visual with all the different current truffle-based products, and the Heinz one says, like, seriously, in brackets, good.
Yeah.
Like, as if they are selling themselves on the fact that this is a good product. That is atrocious. That is wild that exists.
Yeah. I have to say, this was the audience to deliver that presentation to, because I don't like truffles.
Ooh.
And I am truly upset by its prevalence currently.
It's, look, I love truffles, and it's upsetting how many things have truffles in it. Like,
I don't want to go to a restaurant and try and order fries for the table, and the only fries I can order for the table are truffle fries.
That's true. That's
fair.
Very fair. Very fair. As someone who, my favorite beer garden has truffle fries in the summer, and I have been known, okay, I'll admit it, to sit at that beer garden for 12 hours straight and eat the truffle fries in just plates that come and come for 12 hours straight and then be very violently ill. I too will co-sign this presentation that the truffle fries need to be moderated for the good of all. It should not be on me when truffle fries can just come out every time you clear a plate. That's not my fault. That's everyone else's problem. So, co-signed, moderate the truffling. What is Joe Biden's plan for moderating truffles in our economy?
What's Sam Reich's plan for moderating truffles in our economy?
Yeah, Sam, get in the comments. There it is.
You know that Nepo baby loves shaving truffles on everything. Come on.
Real, honestly.
CEO of Dropout America loves truffles.
Extra truffle on the fries.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jordon, your very first PowerPoint, a thrilling success, well executed. Congratulations. Thrilling to know you own 2 bacon wallets. That's a really fun fact that I'm now going to keep in the back of my brain about you for the rest of time.
Yeah, it's not great.
You own 2 bacon wallets, but you're wearing a shirt that says pigs are people too?
I've had a very distinct change of personality in which I owned a pig for many years as a pet, and was like, oh, we shouldn't eat bacon at all. So, yeah, this is from the Central Texas Pig Rescue. Pigs are people too. I got it at a pig beauty pageant. It was incredible. And yeah.
We need to talk about that another time, but we're already at an hour. Shit. Wow, what fun we've had. I know a lot of folks have been talking about wanting to throw PowerPoint parties and do PowerPoint parties as part of, the joy of celebrating Smarty Pants. So if you liked the PowerPoints, let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more episodes like this, with us or with others coming in to do PowerPoints, by all means, let us know. I love a PowerPoint party. It's also so easy to produce because you just ask everyone to make a PowerPoint, and then you have visual aids, and you have presentations, and you have big segments already developed. So it's kind of a producer's dream. At least this producer. I don't know, but I won't speak for the Smarty Pants producers, but Jordon, maybe you can figure that out.
I will find out.
Episodes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordon, do you want to once again plug what's coming up on Patreon for you this week?
Yeah. Because I haven't actually mentioned the interview that is coming this Friday. Alex Perrone, head of the makeup department at Very Important People, and I sat down for an hour. We talked all sorts of incredible makeup. It's so much fun. A delight.
So good. I'm so excited to hear, especially after Allie's comment about getting the makeup sprayed directly up their nose during the big transformation. I'm very excited to hear all about it. Marissa, what do you got coming up this week that you want people to know about?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. just follow me if you want to find out, I guess.
You could subscribe if you feel generous. That would also be cool. We're doing the Drop-in every week. There was an episode we did last week that I just didn't have time to finish editing because it was a big old episode about Watchers. So I'm still working on that. Lots of folks asking about the Reddit post with all the D20 ticketing stuff. Still working on that, so there's a lot of content just on the back burner that hasn't come out yet, but it's coming. Along with a lot of vlogs and different things going on here on Producer Liz. So feel free to subscribe. Feel free to share the word that there is a Dropout podcast because, oh boy, do I see comments just like Jordon saw a few months ago where it's like, how do people not know? We're doing it. We're all over the SEO. How do people not see this is happening? So feel free to spread the word that there are people talking about Dropout, and we love seeing you guys every week here in the comments and hanging out with us. And we'll see you on the internet. See you on the... That's how I'm ending this. See you on the internet.
See you on the internet.